Okay, then good evening, guys. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Naresh, Hemant, Snehal, Ajay, Madhvilata, Vicky, Rungano, Vidyati. Good evening, guys. Good evening, everyone, and welcome. I welcome you all to day 4 of this HTML and CSS Essential. I really hope that you guys are doing good, and I hope that you guys are excited for today's session as well. Because today, as we mentioned, we have a lot of things to do. So first, we're going to be covering flexboxing, basics of flexboxing. We'll see how that layouting model works. Then we'll move ahead to learning something called as positions, which is again very important feature in CSS that a lot of times people find very complicated. So we'll do that as well. And after that, we'll do the project poll for what are we going to make tomorrow. Okay, so good evening once again to everyone. And before we start, I would like to say a few things that whoever is joining for the first time today, I would suggest them to after the session, just go ahead and watch the previous sessions as well to get the better understanding of what we have learned till now. And also, to all the new people, there is a one link in the description of the video. Go there and join the course, because if you don't join the course, you're not going to get the certificate. Okay, so there is a one link below the video in the description. Just click on that and you'll be basically joining the course. Sign up and you have joined the course, and all the assignments and the projects whatever we give is all mentioned there. And also our Telegram link is also there. Just join us on Telegram so that you can also get that quiz and you can play with, like, you can play it, and you can also get that 500 rupees Amazon coupon. And also you'll be updated with all the essentials course and everything that we come up with. Okay, so once again, guys, good evening. I really hope that you guys are enjoying all the sessions till now. We have covered a lot of the basics, like we learned HTML. We saw a lot of tags in HTML. We saw how to create audio and video. We saw how to create iframes, how to put images. We learned basics of CSS. Okay, and after that, basically yesterday we learned about how the box model works, right? And what are the container elements. Okay, now then, today we're going to be moving ahead to learning something called as flexboxing that will help you a lot to make really beautiful sites. Okay, so let's go, guys. Can you repeat position? I have not taught that yet. Today we're going to be covering positions. So don't worry, Vishal. Today we'll be covering positions and you'll understand it. Don't worry about that. Okay. So, guys, the first thing that we are starting with today is, and don't mind my voice, I just have a little cold. So that's why my voice might be a little different today, but I hope that's fine. So, yep, let's go. So, the first topic for today is going to be something called as Flexbox. Okay, so just a little bit of explanation I want to give you, like what exactly is Flexbox. So, guys, Flexbox or Flexboxing is nothing but a layouting technique in CSS. That's all. That's all Flexbox or Flexboxing is. It's nothing but a layouting technique. It's a way of arranging and aligning your element. So basically, before Flexboxing, we had to use all the core properties that we have, like display inline block, then removing their gaps, then arranging them. Then you have to use float and all that stuff to arrange and align our elements. But after some time, in the recent year, we got a new technique in CSS called as Flexbox, or a new feature in CSS called as Flexbox or Flexboxing, which is nothing but a technique of layouting which makes it easier for you to arrange and align your boxes or your elements. And today we're going to see that. So don't worry, if you have never understood flexboxing or if you have never worked with it, no issues. Today you'll learn all of it, not all of it, but at least the basics, because to cover all of it we need at least 2 to 3 hours. Okay, so let's go, guys. Let's go with flexboxing. As I said, it's nothing but a layouting technique in CSS which makes it easier to arrange and align your elements horizontally, vertically, giving spaces. All of that becomes easier. Normally, if you want to arrange your elements horizontally, you have to choose inline block. Then if you want to increase space or decrease space, you have to go for margin left, margin right, margin top, margin bottom. If you want to arrange something vertically, horizontally, you have to change your display. So there was a lot of things going on, but flexboxing makes all of that easier. Okay, so let's go. So for that, today I'm going to be creating a new file and we'll call it day4.html, or we'll just call it Flexbox, basics of Flexbox. So let's just call it flexbox.html. And also I'm going to be creating one CSS file for it. So we're calling it flexbox.css. Okay. Now quickly, let me generate the HTML. After this, please tell navigation bar, sir. Okay, I can create it for you. Don't worry, it's very easy. So let's do one thing. Let's learn flexboxing first, basics of flexboxing. And after that, I'll create a simple navigation bar for you. Very easy one. Okay, so generated a basic HTML. I don't need these meta tags right now, so let's remove them. And let's simply call it flexboxing. Quickly connect the CSS. So now you can also use internal CSS, but I'm just, what do you say, showing you that I'm doing external CSS so that if you have any confusion, you can still see how external CSS is done. But you can completely go for internal CSS. Don't go for inline. So link relation equals style sheet and href equals flexbox.css. Okay. To confirm if it is working, just create a simple div. Now there are multiple ways of checking it, but for beginner level, just create a simple div, give it a class of, let's say, parent, whatever you would like, and just apply some CSS. So parent, simply give it a width of 1200 pixels, sorry, and a height of 500 pixels, and a simple background color of, let's say, gray or maybe light gray. Okay, if this works, that means our CSS is connected. To run it, you can just right click, copy the path, and here we go. You can see one gray area, right? Let me make it a little bigger. Now we don't need the sidebar. Let me just close it, and let me just say it will be 1600 by 800. So it will be a little bigger. Yep, something like this. Now then, guys, let's talk about arranging elements. So let's say I create few elements inside. Guys, please focus everyone. It's just a 20 minutes topic, but it's very important to understand the basics. Once you understand the basics, it's very easy. Okay. So let's go. Let me create few elements inside it. Okay. Like div, let me give this a class of 1. Okay. When we give width in terms of 100, that's percentage, right, Uday? Yes, I'll talk about that today as well. Don't worry. That is in my mind. And I create one more called as 2 and one more called as 3. Guys, please focus everyone. Let me call it 2. Let me call it 3. And one more finally. Let me just simply call it 4. Okay. Let's apply some CSS to all of them quickly. So dot 1. I'm using the very basic way. Otherwise, there are a lot of ways of how I can apply CSS to those elements easily. But right now, I'm just trying to keep it very, very simple for all of you guys. So 100 pixel or maybe 150 pixel width and height of also 150 pixel, a basic square, and background color of red. Just like that, I'll create one more, same height, same width, name is 2. I will give the background color of green to it. Okay, I'm giving different colors so that it's more easier for you to understand. Parent meaning what? Just call it parent. There's no meaning. It's just a class name, right, Suresh? But it's just a class name. It can be anything. It can be Suresh. It can be Saurabh. It can be anything you want. So just a class name. Don't worry about that. I called it parent because all of this were inside that, right? That's why I called it parent. That's just some meaning I'm trying to get it from it. That's all. That's all. You can call it anything, whatever you'd like. Okay. I'm just trying to make it meaningful. That's all. Blue. And finally to the 4. I take this whole thing and let's go. Let me just make it any color, guys. Let's go for I don't know. Let's go for yellow green, something like that. And here we go. You can see all the 4 are here. Now let me ask you a question from yesterday, guys. Why are they going one below each other? Everyone, why are they going one below each other? Do all the elements take padding margin by parent div by default? No, Ajay, no, no. It doesn't work like that. No. Everyone, come on, tell me. Exactly. Okay. Tell me. Yes, exactly. Because they are div elements and they are block elements. And by default, block elements go like this. So I have never done display block anywhere. I have not done display block anywhere. It's just they are by default block elements. And that's why they are simply going one below each other. Now I know that there are a lot of things I can do to make them horizontal. I can go for display inline block, then they will become horizontal. But then an extra gap will come. That's what we saw yesterday, right? Then extra gap will come. I have to remove it. Then if I want to move them here and there, it's not easy at all. Not easy. I have to use margin. If I want to move all of them together, I have to create a parent around it. All that problems are solved by flexboxing. If I can just do display inline block, they will become horizontal, but there will be gap. Now to remove that gap, I have to do something. Now if I want to move all of them together to the center, I have to wrap it inside one more parent, right? If I want to move them in center, I again have to write some code for that. So now here come flexboxing, which makes all of this very easy, where you always have to go to the parent element. Okay, in this case the parent element is this div. Remember guys, you have to make your parent element a flexbox. You have to tell your parent element. Now see, in this case I have named it parent, but it can be anything, like, just so that you're not confused that, okay, do I have to call it parent only? Let me just call it dummy, so that you're not confused. I can call it anything. I know parent might become confusing. So now if you want these elements to work for flexbox, you have to go to their parent and make it a flexbox. Okay, and for that, just go to the parent element, that is dummy, and give it a display of flex. And as soon as you give a display of flex to that element becomes a flex box, and all the elements inside it, all the child elements like this, they become flex items. Two things. Now the parent has become flex box, and these have become flex items. And now they will behave depending on the flex boxing technique or the flex boxing logic. And now we'll see how to adjust and line them. But let's see by default what's happening. As I just made my dummy a flex box. Let's see what's happening, guys. See that? So inside a flex box, by default, all the elements will be arranged in a row formation. That means horizontal formation. That's by default. Now here I didn't do display inline block. Here I didn't. Now see, if I have to do display inline block, I have to go to all the four elements to give display inline block. But here I don't have to do that. I just gave parent a display flex. Okay. And as soon as something becomes a flex box, all the elements inside it become flex items, and they are arranged by default in a horizontal fashion. And see, no gaps, nothing. Very easy, very clean. So by default, it's row. Call it row or x-axis or horizontal. Three things are fine, right? You can call it whatever you want. So I'm calling it row. Simple. They are in a row direction. That's it. Now, if I want, I can change that direction. Only if I want. There is a property called as flex direction. Why flex, Suresh? Because it's not like a Y flex. That's the property name. That will what will do this. So if I want this, I have to do display flex, right? I'm not understanding your question. Like, why flex? Because I wanted to arrange my elements horizontally. And there are a lot of more things to come. So you'll understand why flex. That's why I'm answering why we are using flexbox. Okay, guys, is it clear to everyone? Now, if I want, I can change the direction how these elements are arranging. So by default, the flex direction is row, but I can change it to column. See that? Here we go. And this was initially right, but I can do it. So by default, this flex direction is row. You can see even if I give row, that means even if I don't give flex direction row, it's row. But I can change it if I want. So I can call it column. And here we go. It becomes like this. Now, let me also do one more thing. Let me just put some content inside them. 1, 2, 3, 4, which will make it much more easier for you to understand. Few more things. Okay. Yes, Suresh, default is row, buddy. Okay. Let me just give font size to all of them. So font size 40 pixels. I hope you guys can see that 1, 2, 3, 4 now. Or let me just increase it a little bit. 80 pixel. Okay, you can see that, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Perfect. Now I can see flex direction row and column. If I want, I can also do this. Column reverse. Now see what will happen. It will arrange your element in a reverse order. Now 4 is on top, then 3, then 2, then 1. Now if you want to do this with normal CSS, you have to do a lot of things. But here, simple. Column reverse. Is there only two directions? Yes, Mushtaq. There are only two directions. It's a 2D plane. So definitely there are only two directions. Like we have reverse, so we have four directions. Row, row reverse, column, column reverse. So in 2D, we can only have four directions, right? So that's how it works. Can we use flex direction without using? No, not at all. All the flex features you can only use if it is a flex box. And to make something flex box, you have to do display flex. Is that cleared, everyone? Are we cleared, guys? Okay. So display flex is a property which makes an element a flex box, and all the elements inside it become flex items. And now I can arrange them easily by using some flex properties. Is it clear, guys? So column reverse, and I also have, now you mostly not going to use it, but we have it. Row and row reverse, column and column reverse. So you can see 4, 3, 2, 1. So I created it 1, 2, 3, 4, but I can reverse it as well. Is it clear, everyone? Yes, I tech with child. You cannot use it. So right now I don't need it, so I'm just going to comment it. But just remember that by default it's row. Now let's talk about arranging this. Let's talk about arranging this. So for that, guys, you have two properties. Now before learning that two properties, we have to understand two things. Okay, there are two axes on which Flexbox works: horizontal, row, or you can call it X; vertical, column, or you can call it Y. Now understand one thing, that when the flex direction is row, in that case X becomes your main axis and Y becomes your cross axis. This is where people get confused in Flexbox. That's why focus on this line. When your direction is row, that means the default one, when your elements are arranged like this, in that case X is considered as your main axis and Y is considered as your cross axis. Okay, they are dynamic. And if your direction is column, in that case X is considered as your cross axis and Y is considered as your main axis. Never forget them, guys. Okay, so main and cross are not fixed, it depends on the direction. If your direction is row, X is main, Y is cross. If your direction is column, X is cross and Y is main. Okay, so now then there are two properties who work on these main cross basis. So there is one property called as justify content, which says I will only work for main axis. It never works for cross axis. It will only work for the main axis. So see, guys, right now my direction is row by default. So you tell me, justify content will work for X or Y? Come on, guys, everyone. I want to see some answers in the chat. My by default direction of flex is row. You can see that. So my justify content will work for X or Y right now. Please tell me quickly. I'll wait for answers for 30 seconds, then I'll move ahead. Exactly, because it's row and X is your main. Perfect. So now let's see what are the different values of it. So by default, justify content is having flex start, and you can see flex start basically means nothing. Elements at the start, flex items at the start. But now I can do this. See, I can say center, and here we go. All the elements are in center just by writing one single property. How easy it is. I can say flex end. Sorry, and here we go. See that? Simple. At the end. Now to normally do this, I have to calculate margins. Do justify content need display flex? Can we use it separately? No, you cannot use it without flex. You need that flex. All of these things will work only if your element is a flex box. Is that clear, guys? Everyone? Now normally just think, if you have element like this, you have to calculate the margin left to move all these elements at the right. But now I don't have to do any calculations. How much time am I saving? Getting my point? To make it in center, I don't have to calculate. To move it at the end, I don't have to calculate. I never have to calculate now. Now, if I want gaps in between them, so I still have properties. So flex start, center, flex end. Now, see, again back to normal. Now I also have few more values. I have something called as space between. In that case, see what happens. There's an equal gap between them. See that? Equally arranged. Then you also have space around, where on the sides you have half the gap of the between gap. So in between you have equal gaps, and whatever gap is there in between, half of that is here and half of that is here. So if you want, you can also use this technique, space around, of arranging elements. And finally, if you don't want this gap problem, you can also use space evenly. In that case, you have even spaces at the edges as well as in the center or in between. So now edge gap and between gap, all of them are same. Is it CSS position? No, Suresh, this is not positions. No, this is not positions. So guys, are we cleared? These are some values of justify content. Now you can research more about it and learn more about it. But these are the useful ones. So can you explain how to align images in horizontal manner? Yes, I will. These are the techniques. Now I can put images in these divs and they will be arranged like this only. So guys, are we clear with justify content, everyone? Now then, let's go for something called as align items, the next property. Now this property always works for cross axis. This property always works for cross axis. So if your direction is row, this will work for y. If your direction is column, this will work for x. Just like justify content always works for main axis, align items always works for cross axis. So I can say align items, see that, center, and see all the elements are in center. I can say align items, like start is initial, it's by default, so you can see nothing is there. I can do flex end, and here we go, like this. Now see, I can do this, align items center and justify content space evenly, and see what happens. I get all the elements in center with even gaps. Normally, if I want to do it, I have to do a lot of calculations, right? If you've ever worked with core CSS or normal CSS, you know for this, we have to do a lot of calculations. But here, I don't have to worry about it. Now, in future, even if the height of my parent changes, I don't have to worry about any calculation. See that? They are still in center of the parent. Yes, you can definitely use it. I'm using it. Justify content, align at the same time. Without flex can be done. Yes, we have to do calculation then. We have to use margin. Without flex, we don't have any property like row or column. First thing. Secondly, we have to do a lot of calculations. A lot of calculations. Okay, just to make this easy stuff. But now here you go. How easy it is. Align items flex means row. Align items doesn't work for row only. See, understand. Align items will work for cross axis. So if your direction is row, align item will work for y. If your direction is column, align item will work for x. You can see right now it's working for y, like this, right? It's moving from top to bottom on the column because that's the cross axis right now. Can it be helpful? Yes, this is made for easier responsive design. Flexbox helps you a lot in responsive design. Yes. Is that cleared, guys? Everyone? Float property is also there to do that. Yes, but float is a lot of complicated, right? It does a lot of things. Then you have to clear. If you use float, then sometimes you have to also use clear to clear out the float, right? So that's where these things become very, very easy. Cleared, guys? Everyone? Now let me show you. Let me show you. Okay, let me first of all just do center here. Now, what if I change the direction? Let me do that as well. Let me just comment this out again. Now I change my direction to column. So if my direction is column, guys, focus. Let me also increase the height a little bit more. What is the difference between justify and align? Are the functions same? Mushtaq, you saw, right? As I mentioned, justify content will always work for main axis. Align items will always work for cross axis. So you guys saw that, right? Let me again make it row. Focus, everyone, please. That's why I'm saying focus. Focus is very important here. See that. I have given justify content space evenly. You tell me, is it working vertically or horizontally? What's happening right now? It's working horizontally, right? Vertically, nothing happened. Vertically, it's still at the top. Correct. Justify content is only working for x axis. And now, if I use align items, it's moving on y as well. Is that cleared, everyone? So we use flex left, center, and right also. Yes, flex. There's no right. There is end, start, and center. Is that cleared, everyone? Now, if my flex direction was row, is basically by default. So if my flex direction was column, in that case you will see. Now focus, everyone. If my direction is column now see how justify content works. It will work in vertical direction. See that? Initially it was working on x axis, horizontal direction. Now it's working on the vertical direction. It's creating gap on the vertical direction. See that? And now you can see align items is working on the row area, row direction. See that? It's moving on the x axis now. Is that clear, everyone? Guys, what is main and cross? They are axis. So if your flex direction is row, x axis is considered as your main axis and y axis is considered as your cross axis. And whoever is joining right now, I would suggest you guys to go a little back in the video to understand it more properly. Okay, so I'm just telling you once again, if the direction is row, x is considered as your main, y is considered as your cross. And if your direction is column, x is considered as your cross and y is your main. So main and cross are not fixed, they depend on the direction. Okay, and remember, justify content always work for main axis and align items always works for cross axis. So if your direction is column, justify content will work for y and align item will work for x. If your direction is row, justify will work for x and align will work for y. Okay, is that clear, everyone? Guys, all set, understood these two properties, justify and align? Okay, now then let's move ahead. Good evening, Sarma. I remember you. I hope you're good. I've seen you after a lot of days, after a lot of time. Okay, now then guys, let's move ahead. Let's make it normal again. Now I want to show you one thing. I want to show you one thing. Let me create few more elements like this. Okay, so let me just copy and paste. Guys, please focus. Please focus on this. Okay, so now I have 4 and 4, 8 elements. Now I know there is only a space of 2, 3 elements here, right? But what if I put 4 more elements? See what happens. See, Flexbox is by default overriding the width, making the width of all elements small so that all of them can adjust in one line. That's a default behavior of Flexbox. It is shrinking the width of all the elements just to adjust all of them in one line. But we don't want it. But by default, guys, this is the behavior of Flexbox. Okay, it will always adjust all the elements in one line, no matter how many elements you add. See, I know there is no gap, but still it is adjusting everything in one line. So if you don't want this shrinking to happen, and if you want the elements which are like bigger should come down, not in the same line, for that, just go here and use a property called as flex wrap. By default, it's no wrap. You have to give wrap. In this case, now you'll see it comes like this. Perfectly fine. Is that cleared, everyone? All set? And if you don't want this gap, for that case, just give align it. Okay, let me just confirm it. If this will work or I have to use something else. Not this. There is also, I think, align content. Yes, and I have to give flex start if you don't want gap. And here we go. That's it. That's how it works. So wrapping, that's what wrapping means. So basically, whatever elements are going outside, don't decrease the width to adjust. Please, please, please put them in the next line. And for that, you have to give this property flex wrap wrap. Okay, but you saw that it creates a gap between them. So for that, just put align content, not align items. Now this time it's align content, flex start. So it will go like this, proper. Is that clear, everyone? What exactly is the advantage of flex? Supreet, see, the advantage will come if you know the problem with the basic CSS. Okay, now if I want to do the exact same thing using normal CSS, I have to write a lot of different properties. I have to use display inline block, I have to use margin, I have to do a lot of stuff. And that's where Flexbox comes. Okay, makes everything easier. Right now, you can see how easily I'm arranging all these elements. But if I don't have Flexbox, it will become very, very tough for me to arrange all these elements to easily in vertical direction or horizontal direction. I can easily just, I can add a single property and switch the whole thing, but I cannot do it normally without Flexbox. Is that cleared, guys? Everyone, all set? Are we cleared with this? So align items and align content are different. Never forget that. Okay. Is it cleared, guys? Exactly. That's one more thing, Ajay. So guys, are we clear with all these basic properties on how Flex is working? Now, see all of this stuff. How easier it will be now to adjust using Flex, like these cards in one line, like these things in one line, these things in one line. See that? All of this is nothing but Flexboxing, all of this. Now they might have, I don't know if Flipkart has used Flexboxing, but it will become very, very easier for me if I use Flexboxing in this case. Okay. So it adjusting, aligning all the stuff will become very, very easy if you perform Flexboxing. Can you please explain wrap again? Yes, why not? Yes, definitely. By default, if I don't have wrap, by default, Flexbox does this thing. I know that my elements cannot adjust in one line. So what Flexbox is doing is it is decreasing the width of all the elements so that they adjust in one line. Is that clear? So that they adjust in one line. So if I don't want that, I'll just give flex wrap. Because see, normally what should happen here is I know that my elements width, see, one element's width is 150. So I have how many elements? I have around 13, 14 elements. So 13, 14 elements should have a width of around 2000. Correct. And my parent element's width is only 1600. So how my all the elements which have width of 2000 are adjusting inside 1600 width? It's not possible. It's only possible because Flexbox is decreasing their width. You can see it, right? It's decreasing the width. I don't want that. I want my elements to have a proper width, what I have gave. And that's not happening because of the Flexbox feature. So for that, you just have to give flex wrap. And it will basically put the elements that don't adjust in one line in the next line. Is that cleared, guys? Everyone, are we cleared? Please tell me. All set? Okay. Okay, now someone is asking me the difference between align item and align content. See this. If I give align item flex start, normal. Now let me just give this. Let's say flex end. See that. It is keeping that gap between the elements. This is content gap. This comes by default in the flex box. Okay, if I just do like center now, see it will still keep that gap. It will keep this gap. Because by default, contents are behaving like that. So you can say align content. Content should start from start. And in this case, now you'll see. They don't have that thing. Is that cleared? Okay. Now I can just remove it and I can only use align content. And let me just put center here and see. Now they will work perfectly. So that's where you can use. So when you have multiple lines, you can go for align content. When you have single line, you can go for align items. I think you can go also for single line in align. Let me just confirm that once. Let me remove some extra elements from here. Now, so again, normal back to this much elements, which can adjust in one line. Now let me see. Yes. So yeah, center, X start, perfect. So if you have one line, you can go for align content as well as align items, but you cannot use align items for multiple lines of content. You have to use align content in that case. Okay. So only when you have multiple lines, you can go for align content. For single line, you can simply go for align items. That's fine. Okay. So how to change the size of every box? By giving height and width, right? Is there a way to create a scroll bar at the bottom in the case of axis horizontal? Yes, simple property, Hemant. Overflow. There's a property called as overflow that you can simply use to create a scroll bar. Yes. So that's very simple property. How to change the size of every box? Size changing is very easy, right? That's what we learned yesterday. Just you have to work with height and width. That's all. That's how you change the size. So everyone, please tell me, are we cleared with this basics of flex boxing? Everyone, all set? Now there is a lot more to learn in Flexboxing, and you can use this as a Kickstarter to learn more about it. But this is the like what you say, the basics that you might use to do everything now. Now there are some more properties that you can definitely learn on your own. Definitely, it's very easy. But these were all the basic things that you require to start with Flexbox. And even if you need this much, you can do a lot of things. Now there are a few more things that you can do. Like for example, what if you want only one element to go down? Can I do that? Yes. You can just go to that element directly. Now, see, right now, you were only working in the parent. See, I'm arranging these elements, but I'm not even writing any CSS for them. I'm only working with the parent. But if I want any one element to change its alignment, I can just go here and I can give that element a simple align self. That's all. So align self, text end. Wait, my direction. See that? So here we go. It was basically overriding it. I had align content as well as I'm doing align self. So it was not overriding it. And now here we go. You can see. So I can arrange only two elements like that. Completely fine. So you also have align self if you want to work directly on an element. If you want to work directly on an element. Because whenever you write all the stuff in parent, it will work for all the elements. Remember that, guys. These properties, when you write in parent, it will work for all the elements together, for all these elements. But if you want to work on any specific element, you have to go to that element and you can use align self and all that stuff. Is it cleared, everyone? Guys, number की जगह कोई picture लगानी हो, simple image tag, Jitendra. Simple image tag. Very simple image tag. Okay, tomorrow we're going to be seeing all that. But for now, if you want to see that, it's very simple. Just go ahead and put up an image tag here, right? And put an src. Let's take an image, like for example, anything like, again, if I don't know what to search, I just search this. Let's also take any image now. Right click, copy image address, paste it, and that's it. Now this image is big, so it will come like this, but you can also make it small if you want. So I can just go here and put img, same width of 100 pixels, like that. So you can just put an image. Now I can see the image is inside this. Let me increase the width. See? So simply up to you. You can just put an image inside it, whatever you like. You can put text, image, h1p, whatever you want. So up to us. Now I know this is not looking very good because right now we are just understanding the basics of flexboxing. Is it cleared, everyone? Guys, can we move ahead to the next topic? Okay, these are enough to start your flexboxing journey. These are enough to start with flexboxing. These are enough to start creating sites by using flexbox. Okay, but you can also learn more about it. Okay, now then, let's move ahead to the next topic that is again very, very important. So please focus, guys. I want you guys to focus. It's again a 10-minute topic, and this is one topic that people find a lot complicated for some reason. So now focus for the next 10 minutes, and this will be the easiest thing you will ever learn. So let's go. The next thing that I'm teaching you today is the next property called as position in CSS. So let me just call it positions.html. Which part is confusing in Flexbox and beginner? I think people get confused in all that stuff like flex grow, flex shrink, flex baseline. So those are the stuff that you don't need normally in the start. Okay, you can work without it, but those are some advanced properties which you can learn while using a lot of Flexbox. So once you get experienced with basics of Flexboxing, then those properties become easier. Okay. So now guys, let's move ahead and see. Sometimes as a designer, I also use only this much. I never have to use flex grow, flex shrink because those are optional properties. Even if you don't use them, that's fine. They are for some proper situations, but these are some properties that you will always use. Justify content, align items, flex, wrap. All of these are very, very important always, because without them, you cannot even use flex grow, flex shrink, or all those advanced properties. Those come after. Okay, these are the main properties that we learned today. That much is also enough to create good sites. Okay, now guys, let's move ahead to the next topic of today, that is position. And in this case, I'm going to be using internal CSS because I don't have a lot of CSS in this case. Okay. So guys, please focus for the next 10 minutes and this will be forever clear to you. So positions, and again, I'm making spelling mistakes. Okay. I hope it's fine now. No, it's still not fine. Positions. Cool. So now guys, first of all, let's focus. What exactly is position in CSS? Okay. Sir, why are we using class? Okay. First thing, Vishwajit, I would suggest you to go to our second session of this course to understand this in a more better way. But I'll also like to answer you right now that class is nothing but a way of giving one more name to the element for applying CSS. It's just a selector. Class is nothing but a selector. So you can also select element using tag name. You can also select element using class name. Okay. That's what it is. That's all, buddy. But to understand more about it, I would suggest you to go to the second day of this whole course. You'll understand it perfectly. Okay, guys. Now let's move ahead. So what exactly is position in CSS? So first of all, basic definition. Position is nothing but how an element is placed on the web page. Position is nothing but how an element is placed on the web page. That's all. That's all. But I'm talking about some proper placement. For example, see this side, guys. See this side, everyone. Now let's say I hover on grocery, or let's say mobile. Okay, why it's not coming now? Let me just refresh the site. Okay, here we go. See, I hover on position. I move my mouse in position. You can see these two boxes are coming on top of that image. Can you see that, guys? Can you see that? They are coming on top. See that, everyone? One thing. See, if I go on home, these two boxes again coming on top. So this is a special positioning. If I go on this more, see, all of that is coming on top. Now you can see here as well. When I scroll this page, you can see header is still there and everything is going behind it. And header is not moving at all. See that, guys? So these are happening because of some special positioning. And that's where positions help you. I'm directly giving you how, like, why do we use positions? We'll learn how they work. Don't worry about that. But I'm just directly giving you where people are using position. You can see that, right? That header is fixed there and it's on top and everything is going behind it. How is that possible? If I hover on this, you can see this box is on top, image is behind it. So these are all some special positionings and we can manage them via CSS positions. Okay. So again, as I mentioned in the definition, position is nothing but how an element is placed on the web page. Okay, so let's go ahead and see how this placement logic works and how we can also use it to build headers like this, to build pop-up boxes like this, all of that. Let's see how to do that. Okay, exactly, playing games, exactly. Okay, so let's go, guys. Let me run this file first. So right click, copy the path. You can also use a live server if you're comfortable with it. Now please focus, guys. 10 minutes only. Just focus and it will be forever clear to you. So now, as I said, I'm using internal CSS. So style. Okay, perfect. Now, first thing I need here is a div. Okay, giving it a class of, again, guys, you can call it anything. I'm calling it dummy again. Let's go. Dot dummy. Giving it a height of 300 pixel, not 300. Let's say 700 pixels, and giving it a width of 500 pixels, and giving it a background color of, not background color actually, just giving it a border. So border of 30 pixel, solid black. And here we go. See that a simple box is available with a border. Too much size of the border. I think 10 pixels is also enough. That's fine. I want to move it little to the side. So for now, I'm just going to using margin. That's all. So margin 50 pixel. Okay, I hope you guys can see it. Or let me just put 100 pixel. Okay, I hope you guys can see it, right? Everyone, simple element. Now inside this, I would like to create few elements. Focus, guys, please focus. So div class 1, and just like that, 2, and then 3. Perfect. Now let's apply some CSS to it. So dot 1, give it a width of 150 pixel, and also height of 100 pixel. Okay. Absolute position, move left, use negative for left. Okay, playing games. And yes, don't forget to give some background color. So background color of red. And let's just give font size of 40 pixel. Okay, you cannot see it behind my image. Okay, let me just move it on the right side. Wait. So margin left of 400 pixel. Okay, hopefully now you guys can see it. Or a little more, let's say 700 pixel. Okay, now I hope you guys can see it, right? Perfect. It's in center now. Fine. Not red, just green to this one. 2, 3, and let's give it blue. Now, guys, please focus. Here we go. And yep, 1, 2, and 3. Perfect. So you can see now I have a box, and inside that I have 3 child elements. Simple, easy enough to understand. Okay, I'm also planning to create one more parent on top of this. Let me just create that as well. Let me just create that as well. So div, one more parent, guys. Okay, let me call this as what do you say? Dummy, and let's say anything like dumb, whatever you like, guys. I'm not just thinking of classes. Okay, so dummy, and then I have dumb. So dot dumb will have, now the upper one will have a width of 800, and this will have a width of 500. A 500 pixel, height of 600 pixel, and again border of 10 pixel solid. Let me put as gray for this one. Okay, and to this one I'm going to give an increased height of, let's say, 800 as well. I'll move this a little bit, so margin of 100 pixels. Okay, guys, can you see that? Two parents, right? Perfect. Now focus. Now remember, guys, every element has a position, but by default the position of every element is static. Static means nothing, normal. So every element is by default having some position, but it is static. So by default it's static, nothing is happening. Okay, now let's see what if I don't give static. So you can see I just give position, I just give static, nothing happens, normal, fine, it's cool, normal. Static does nothing. Now then, let's talk about positions other than static, because the static is a default position which does nothing, it's normal. Now then, the next property that we want to talk about is, the next value of position is relative. So the first position that we are learning is position of relative. So now, what exactly is position relative? Okay, understand, guys. Whenever you give position of relative to any element, okay, it is positioned according to its original position. Whenever you give position relative to any element, it is positioned according to its original position, always. So let me mention it somewhere. Whenever you give position of relative, it is positioned according to original position. You can see nothing is happening, but I would like to show you that position is applied. Right click on it, inspect, and now you can see in the box model there is one new something added on top. Can you guys see that? Everyone, can you see that? It will not be there if I don't apply position. See this, it's not there now. See, not there. And even if I do position of static, it is still not there. See that? It's not there. But as soon as apply relative, you will see that extra thing is activated, position. Okay, and to find out the actual position of any element, the top position and the left position should be 0, and right now you can see it's 0 0. That means right now it's at its original position. So whenever you give position of relative, guys, whenever you give position of relative, the element is always positioned according to its original place. Is that clear, everyone? That's why you cannot see any difference. But as soon as you give position, 4 new properties are activated. The new properties are top, left, bottom, and right, which are kind of similar to what you say, margin top, margin left, margin bottom, margin right. Okay, but these are only activated after giving position, otherwise they are not activated. Now if I want, I can move that element. See, top 50 pixel. See that it's moving. And so you see, guys, it's not hurting the blue element. See that, guys? It's not hurting the blue element because once you give position, it's also out of the index. It's also out of the flow. So now it can move freely. It can also move freely. Is it clear, guys? Anywhere, top 50. I also give left 50. You can see it's moving here and there very easily. I can move it anywhere now. Is that clear, guys? You can see top 50, left 50. Are we cleared, everyone? Guys, please tell me, are we cleared with this? So whenever you give position of relative, the element is positioned according to its original place. That means it will not leave its original place. Is that cleared, guys? Okay, perfect. Relative is fairly easy because it never changes. It's always at its own place. So we don't see any much like that much different. But the blue gets small. No, blue is not getting small. Hina, when I moved the green one bottom like to from the top, it covered the blue one. You can see, right? It covered the blue one. It's not getting small. It simply covered the blue one. That's all. Okay. Now let's move ahead to the next position, that is absolute. Now focus on absolute because it might get a little trickier. This is the trickiest of them all. Okay. 2 is relative to dump. No, by default it's static, right? Naveen, by default it's static. So it's not relative to anything. By default, static position, normal. Exactly. You can think of it like that. Like wherever my parent goes, I'm here, there. That's all. You can say that. Okay. But it's not position. It's simply static. Wherever you created me, I'm there. In the screen, wherever you created me, I'm there. Relative simply means according to its original place. That's all. Not to the parent. Its original place where it was created. Doesn't matter where it was created. In what parent. Okay. Is that clear, guys? Okay, perfect. What is the purpose of position relative? You can use margin. Oh, no, 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 no. You cannot use margin. Let me show you. Let me show you, guys. First of all, see, no position now. Guys, focus. Edward, focus here. No position, right? I have not given position to this. Now you will see, first of all, if you don't give position, you cannot use top left, bottom right because those things are not activated. Secondly, now, if I use margin top, see what's happening. Margin top 50. You will see it's also hurting the blue element, also moving the blue element. See that? It's not moving freely on its own space. That's where position comes. Okay. So if you want to move any element freely without hurting anyone, but also it should be at its original place, you can always go for relative. That's one use of relative. I will be at my original place. I'm normal and you can move me freely now without hurting anyone. Is that cleared? That's what relative is. Simple. So whenever you give any element a position of relative, that simply means it is positioned according to its original place. That's all. Now then, let's move ahead to the next position, that is absolute. Now understand the definition first. Absolute says, absolute says, always forget, remember guys, not don't always forget, always remember. Absolute says, whenever you give a position of absolute to any element, it will be positioned according to either the nearest positioned ancestor or to the viewport. When I say viewport, that means the screen. The visible area, the screen visible area is called as viewport. So whenever you go absolute, either, so let me mention it, it is positioned either to it nearest positioned ancestor or to the viewport. So when I say nearest position ancestor, it means any parent, parent or grandparent or great grandparent who is having position. So let me show you. Right now, you can see this is the two which I'm giving position, right? You can see that. Absolute. Now you guys tell me, is any of it parent having position? Now it has two parents, dumb and dummy. Do they have position, guys? Tell me. Do they have any position? Static, don't consider static. Do they have position? Tell me, guys. You can see they don't have positions. So according to definition now, I will be either positioned according to my nearest positioned ancestor, which I don't have. I don't have any ancestor who is having position. So I will directly go to the viewport. Let me show you now. Focus. Now you can see that blue element is gone, but it's not gone. Now, guys, this element is at this place, but it's actually not. As I said, to see any element's original position, you have to make their top and left 0. Right now, browser is keeping it here, but actually it's not here. Browser has added 370 and 828 top and left to keep it here. To see its actual position, go ahead and make top and left 0. Make top and left 0 to see the actual position. Now you will see the green element is actually positioned according to the viewport, according to the screen area, visible screen area. And that's why this space was empty. So blue one took it. Is that clear? Because right now the green element is positioned according to the viewport. Is it cleared, everyone? So this space was cleared and the blue one took it. In relative, the element is positioned according to its original place. That's why no one takes that place. In absolute, it is going to the viewport or to the nearest position ancestor. That's why that gap is taken by the blue element, because it no longer belongs to the 2 element. Is it cleared, everyone? Guys, so that's how it is working. But again, let's also check the second line. Right now it's going to the viewport because no parent is having position. So now let's go and give the parent a position. I'm going to do that. Don't worry. Don't worry. I'm going to do that. So let's go to this dump and give a position to it. Position relative. See that. Now it's going to the dump one. It's positioned according to the dump. See that? It's starting from dump area. If I don't give it to this and if I give it to dummy, position relative. See, it's going to dummy. So either to the nearest positioned ancestor or to the viewport. So right now, this ancestor of mine is having position. So I'll go to him. If this is having, I'll go to him. And if they both don't have, I'll go to the viewport, to the screen. Is it cleared, guys? Everyone? So what was the definition? See, first of all, remember that to see the actual position of any element, you have to make top and left 0. Because by default, the browser doesn't move it here and there. Browser will keep it at the same place. Browser will keep it at the same place by adding extra top and extra left. But you have to, if you want to see the original position of any element, you have to make top and left 0. Browser was keeping it here only. To make sure, if you want to know where it actually belongs, you have to make top and left 0. And so you can see its actual position. Is it cleared, guys? Everyone, please tell me. All set? Guys, I don't understand the box thing in developer tools. So for that, Lily DG, you have to watch yesterday's session. You have to definitely watch yesterday's session. Yesterday I explained what exactly is this box model. All set, guys? Perfect. Now then, finally comes the last position, that is, it's not the last, but again, fixed. Now what fixed says, make dump position relative and do the same. Definitely you can see that. Why not? You tell me, Ajay, where it will go according to definition. If both of them have relative, where it will go? Tell me where it will go. Guys, you tell me. If my dummy and dumb both have position, where it will go according to the definition? Please tell me, guys. Where will it go? To dummy or to dumb? Again, definition. No, guys. Definition. Nearest positioned ancestor. Who is nearest? My father or my grandfather? Tell me. Who is nearest? Exactly. Who is nearest to 2? Dumb or dummy? Focus, guys. Focus. Exactly. Dumb. So it will go to dumb, obviously. See that? Going to the dumb, not to the dummy. Okay. Only if dumb doesn't have position, then it will go to dummy. Definition, guys, nearest positioned ancestor. Nearest. Okay, so it will not go to dummy, it will go to dumb. Again, guys, nearest. That keyword is very important, right? Nearest, closest. Okay, all cleared, guys? I can see a lot of people answering dummy. I hope you're cleared now. It will not go to dummy, it will go to dumb if both of them have position. Okay, perfect. Now, finally, okay, I can see a lot of people confused about viewport. Let me show you what viewport is. See this visible area of the screen, this visible area from here till here. See this? This is what you call as the viewport. The visible area of the browser is what you call as viewport. For example, in my phone, if I open any browser, like let's say Chrome, okay, focus. Let me just go to like google.com. This area you can see, right? The browser area is what you call as viewport. Okay, the visible area of the browser is viewport. That's all. Like for example, if I go to Flipkart right now, this is one viewport. Okay, from here, so whatever is the visible area, that is what you call as viewport. That's it. And whatever you see, so basically you always see viewport. The site has to come in the viewport so that you can see it. Like for example, think, can you see the beauty, food, toys and more part which is below? Can you see that, guys? Can you see that? No, we cannot see that. I have to scroll it if I want to see that, because right now it's not in your viewport. Viewport is the visible area of your browser. Now if I scroll, that comes in my viewport and I can see it. If I scroll, here we go, this comes in my viewport, and all the top things like the banner, it's gone outside the viewport. That's why it is called as viewport. You can see that much area. If I just click on right click and make the browser small, like for example this much, so now this much is my viewport. This much, this is not my viewport, this is my browser viewport. Is it cleared? If I make my browser small, now this is my viewport. Is that cleared? If I make this small, now this is my viewport. Is that cleared, guys? Everyone? So whatever browser area is visible to you, that's what you call as viewport. Simple. Understandable? Hopefully. So why you use top and left 0? Because by default, even if you give positions, the element will not go to its original position. Element will be there only, because browser will force a top and left to keep it there. That means it's positioned, but you cannot see its original place. Is that cleared? That's why you have to make top and left 0, so that I can see what is the original place. Because wherever it was created, the browser tries to keep it there. The browser tries to keep it there, not at its original place. So you want to see that, you have to do top and left 0. Is that clear, Sandeep? Okay. Okay. Now then, guys, let's move ahead and let's talk about the last position for today. That is position fixed. Now here we go. Fixed. Fixed says no matter what, no matter what, I will always be positioned with the viewport. Always, always, always. No parent, no ancestor, nothing. Always I'll go to the viewport. Let me show you that. Here we go. It directly goes to the viewport. Simple. Is that clear, guys? And also one more thing, that let me increase the height of this to like, let's say 1800, something like that. It never scrolls. See that, guys? I'm scrolling my page, but it's not going up. So it never scrolls as well. Is that cleared, everyone? Guys, please tell me, are we cleared? That's how simple it is. So position fix simply says, if you give fix to any element, I'll directly go to the viewport, as well as I'll be fixed. I will never scroll. And that's how this header is working. It's fixed on top. That's why it's not going with the scroll. It's there. Is that cleared, everyone? I hope it is understood. Okay. Okay, and now finally, let me also tell you the sticky position. So sticky is, guys, sticky is combination of relative and fixed. Sticky is a combination of relative and fixed. Let me show you that. If I give sticky to this, see, where is my sticky? Sticky. Yeah, let me give sticky to this. Now see, everyone, focus. First of all, it's at normal place. It's like relative. By default, sticky behaves like relative. Okay. Now you can say where you want it to become fixed. So if I just give top 50 pixel of focus, as soon as it will reach the top 50 pixel, it will become fixed. See that? See that, guys? As soon as it reaches here, see, it becomes fixed. See that, everyone? So that's how it works. Cleared? Sticky is a combination of relative and fixed. Okay? That's how simple it is. And initially it is relative, but when you scroll and it reaches at the position of whatever you have given in top, it will become fixed there. It will become fixed. It will not move up from there. Okay? Simple. So five or four, five. Static, relative, fixed, absolute, sticky. Static is by default. Okay? Why is not crossing the dumb diff? Because it's placed according to the nearest positioned ancestor. That's why. So it is also placed according to the nearest positioned ancestor. Okay? Mushtaq, hopefully you understood now. Sticky, where can I show you that? So have you guys seen that? Like, I don't know the exact site now. Where can I show you that? But have you seen that sometimes some sites have header and you scroll, the header in the start scrolls, but at some point it becomes fixed. At some point it becomes fixed. Like as soon as it reaches on the top, it fixes there. So that's the example of sticky. Sticky is a combination of relative and fixed, Webhub. It's a combination of relative and fixed. Okay, and it is positioned according to its nearest positioned ancestor, like absolute. Is YouTube the example of that? I don't know. Does YouTube work like that? Let me just see. No, it by default has a fixed header. See that? Okay. So everyone, are we cleared with whatever we learned today? Today we learned about flexboxing and today we learned also about positions. And now tomorrow we'll go ahead and make a project. Now I'm going to give you the project poll. So wait for 5 minutes. Let me type out the project's name and then you can select whatever you want to make tomorrow. Okay, as you can see, today we are already out of time. So we have to come back tomorrow. And don't worry, I think someone was asking about navigation, right? So tomorrow in our project, we'll also create a navigation, definitely. So I'll show you how to create navigation. Don't worry about that. And guys, before we end, I would also like to announce the quiz winners from yesterday's session. And let's go then. So first of all, and I'll put the poll as well. So please wait if you want to vote, if you want your favorite project to be done by me. So here we go, guys. The quiz winners from yesterday's session are Divya. So Divya, congratulations for getting 500 rupees Amazon coupon. And Aradhana and Gandra Saipawan, congratulations for getting 150 LU coins and 100 LU coins respectively. Okay. And one more thing, guys, as you know that this is only an essential session and we are learning only basic things. So if you want to learn more about CSS, like for example, animations, right? Adjustment, alignment, grade, all that stuff. And not only CSS, HTML from scratch to advanced, JavaScript from scratch to advanced, sorry, scratch to advanced, React, Node, all of that from scratch to advanced. And also, if you want to build 15 plus projects like Netflix clone and Instagram clone, want to learn how to build chat applications and streaming sites, all of that, you can join our full stack PGP web development course where we'll have 100% live sessions. So every day you'll be coming live with us to learn at a separate place. And then it's a 6 months course. That means after that 6 months, you'll be learning. In that 6 months, you'll be learning everything. And after that 6 months, you're literally ready to create anything, whatever you want. and also job ready basically. So if you can create anything, you're definitely going to get the job. You'll be ready to create your own Facebook, your own Twitter easily. Okay, you also get one-on-one mentoring session. So at any point of time, if you have any doubt, any confusion in any projects or topics, you can just call us and we'll schedule a one-on-one mentoring sessions with any trainer. Okay, and the certificate that you get is accredited by NSDC and ITM group. So definitely that certificate will help. And we also provide 100% job placement. So if you're interested, you can just go ahead to letsupgrade.in and just click on this programs here, and you can check out this program, full stack web development. You can also check our curriculum here. Just go here and check out the curriculum. You can see all the things that we teach. You can see here we have a lot of stuff. Okay, so yep. And if you use the code, if you're interested in your enrolling, you can also use the code SG10. By using that code, you will get an instant 10% discount. Okay, now then, let me just go ahead and just put Tab Malik is asking something in the chat. If you can see, wait, what is he asking? Let me see. Did I miss something in the chat? What was he asking last time? Let me see. Tab Malik. Tab Malik. Tab, are you there, buddy? Can you please put the chat again? I think I missed your chat somewhere. Can you please put it? I'm unable to find your last chat in this whole bunch of chats. Can you please put your chat again so that I can see it? Okay, so tomorrow, guys, we'll definitely make navigation. Now, let me put a poll quickly, and you guys go ahead and vote for it. So let me just put some things. So, Mod, can you please create an what do you say poll for this? I'm giving you 4 options. And okay, so can you please put these 3 design options in front of them so that they can vote on whatever they want? Yes, definitely we're planning for React as well, Akash. Right? In this month only we'll be coming up with React. Mod, are you doing it? Are you making that poll? Please tell me. So, guys, the poll will be live in just a minute, and you can just go ahead and vote for whatever you would like. Is there your courses on Udemy and CSS and projects? No, I don't have my courses there. I have all my courses on LetsUpgrade.in, so you can just go ahead, Harishri, and check everything there, buddy. Okay. Okay, Mod, are you there? Can you please confirm me that are you putting it or not? Can you please confirm me once? Okay, here we go. Oh, there are only 2 options. Can you please give the third option as well to them? Can you also please give them the third option, Mod? Guys, wait for a minute. You forgot the third option, buddy. And guys, please understand that whatever we'll be making, it will be only design. No functionalities, no databases there, so nothing will work. It's going to be only design. So don't expect that you will click on a product and it will be bought, or we'll have some payment or something like that. Okay, so it will be only design. We'll just take the whole thing to create a really good looking design. And again, guys, you'll be learning a lot of new things as well tomorrow. So we are not only going to be using all the things that we have learned, we're also going to be using a lot of new things. Okay. Mod, can you? Yeah, guys, a new poll will be out. Wait for a minute. A new poll will be out. Yep. Can you please do that? Can you please put all these 3 options? Let me put a 4th option as well. If the poll is not live yet, please put this four options. Please put this 4 options. Please. And can you speak if you're in the background? Please put 4 options. Please. Okay. Okay, fine. Let's go for 3 options, guys. Now you have 3 options. Go ahead and choose anything. Whatever has the highest poll, will make that as a design. Choose it. Choose it. Go ahead. Yes, exactly. Portfolio already done. Last time we did portfolio, right? So choose something else. Go for something else, guys. Go for a restaurant. Go for an e-commerce design. We'll make that. Go for something new. Restaurant में क्या होगा? We'll make a good design for a restaurant, for some dummy restaurant that we have. We'll try to make a like really good looking dishes and all that stuff, right? Come on, guys, vote. And I can see there are around 300 people watching, but there are only 160 likes. So, guys, that means either you didn't enjoy the video or you don't want to like. So, please show some love to us by liking the video. Okay, so that we are also motivated to teach you, to come here every day and teach you. And also, please subscribe if you haven't, so that we can also grow. So, if you have enjoyed the video, please let me know in the chat if you've enjoyed it. And also, please go ahead and like the video as well. Okay, please help us grow. Please like the video if you've enjoyed the session, and also let me know in the chat. Okay. Oh, e-commerce design won. So tomorrow we'll be making an e-commerce design, something like Flipkart or Amazon with a lot of products and a lot of things, a really good header navigation. So I'll tell you. So guys, e-commerce has won. So we're going to be making e-commerce site. So now it will have navigation. Okay. It will have a really good looking banner. We'll be learning some new features tomorrow as well. We'll have a display of products. We'll have a display of categories. So we are going to be having a lot of things. So I am very excited. I hope you guys are also excited. Please also tell your friends and other people to also come and see what we are doing and watch the session and learn something new. Okay. So that's it, guys. Thank you so much, everyone. Bye bye. I'll see all of you tomorrow. Bye bye, guys. Good night. Have a great night. Bye bye.